Hi and welcome. My name is Megan Colwell and I'm a business growth advisor at Smart Precinct Townsville. I just wanted to put together a little recording for you for some tips and tricks on applying for the latest grant, which is for the Business Basics Round 3. I wanted to cover a few things such as eligibility, the application process, the process where they're assessing it, and also the outcome and how best to get the most out of it for your business. So first and foremost, I really wanted to cover the eligibility. So first of all, if you receive the grant in round 1 or round 2, you're unable to apply for this round. The second category for eligibility is that you must have less than 20 employees as a head count. The third criteria is that you must have an income of this financial year of $300,000 or less. Now, unfortunately, I know this does put a few people out of the running for this grant, but the criteria is definitely quite strict. So your turnover must be less than $300,000. You must be registered for GST and you must have an ABN. You must also not be bankrupt or insolvent. So if all of these criteria you meet within your business, you're able to proceed to the next stage and apply. In order to be ready to apply, so this grant opens for you on the 4th of May at 9 a.m. For you to be able to apply at that time, you do need to have some documentation ready. So I'm going to just give you a bit of a heads up on what you would need to get organised before then. So the first piece of documentation is you'll need to have a stat deck signed. Now, the stat deck covers all of the eligibility requirements and confirms that you're able to proceed. So you will need to get this certified. If you will find a JP, you can find a JP closest to you. But typically we tend to go, suggest that you go to the courthouse and have this stat deck signed. Once you have that, you'll need to scan it onto your computer and have it ready to upload. Unfortunately, with this particular grant, you're not able to submit any documentation after the grant. Your grant has been applied for. So this needs to be done at the time of you applying for the grant and unable to be done at a later date. So it's important that you get this documentation in place and it's ready to go. You will also need to jump on and check that your business information is correct on the business government grant. So making sure that you are definitely registered for GST, your address is correct, your postal address as well, and all of your business information. So it's a good idea to get that done ahead of time to save you having any complications at the time of the application. What you will also need to do is determine how you best wish to spend your grant to get the most out of it for your business. So you're able to, the idea around this grant is to use it to increase your business confidence with business owners across your core skill set. It is to boost your profit, your turnover, and also employment. So looking at adding staff to your business, and it's to improve the business's resilience and survivability. So that's the basis around this grant. And once you meet the criteria, it's fantastic for you to be able to apply. The grant is for a $5,000 investment. Sorry, not investment, a $5,000 grant. So what that means is you're able to spend it on the following 5 categories, and you can break it down into 2 quotes. So I'll explain that again, but basically training and coaching, website builds and upgrades, professional business advice, strategic marketing advice, and business continuity and succession planning. So they're the areas of the business that you're able to use the grant for. What you need to do is provide to DESBIT one quote or 2 quotes that total $5,000 minimum for you to be able to apply. So think about the areas of your business that need the most help, and then you'll actually approach someone like Smart Precinct who will give you a quote for the $5,000, and you'll be able to use that $5,000 for any of those categories. So I'll just repeat them as training and coaching, website build and upgrades, strategic marketing services, business continuation and succession planning, and professional business advice. This grant is not subject to GST, so you'll receive a one-off payment if you are successful. Now, this grant is competitive, so once they receive enough applications. They'll assess them to be against each other to be competitive, and not everyone will, receive the funding. So if you're successful, you will within a couple of weeks get a $5,000 payment into your bank account, and based on the quotes that you have obtained, those particular businesses will invoice you, and then you will pay the $5,000 plus GST. So what we need you to do is think about areas of the business that you can, really use help on, and obtain a quote in order to submit with your grant application. So the grant application itself is fairly simple, as long as you have your stat deck signed and the quotes provided from your service provider. A couple of other things, it's actually two portions to this grant. They have the following LGAs in Southeast Queensland, but they also have following LGAs in regional Queensland, which obviously includes Townsville and Burdekin and Charters Towers and surrounding areas. So it's great to see that, the grant will be funded separately between Southeast and regional Queensland. When it comes to using your grant, so the training and coaching side of things, you think about business development, marketing, human resources, business planning, or just basically coaching and training for you from a business coach or mentor for up to 4 months. When it comes to website builds and upgrades, you're able to build a website or upgrade or a refresh. You're able to add e-commerce to the site, and you're able to develop new website content. It will not pay for hosting, and it will not pay for subscription, so that's important to understand. Just general business advice could be business planning, it could be financial planning, it could be marketing as well. So in terms of your strategic marketing, it can be around search engine optimization, it might be around doing some marketing plans for you or audits, but it does not include any investment that you'd require to put into AdWords or Google Words. Business continuity, oh God, that word's going to get me, and succession planning is all around cyber safety training and tools, and making sure that you've got an exit plan or a strategy for your business. Okay, so things they won't fund, it's really important that they won't fund general business expenses. They won't cover any tax or GST fees. They won't cover any wages or rent or general business, website hosting, implementation of any marketing, hardware. So if you refer to their terms and conditions, you will get a full list of things that they do not cover. So important things to remember right now is it opens on 9 AM on the 4th of May. So you should be on your computer at this time ready to apply for this grant. It will close when they get enough competitive grants to start to assess. Once you receive the funding, you have to carry out the works within 4 months. Okay, they ideally like you to commence within the first month and then have 4 months to complete the works. If there's any variations to this, you do need to go back to DESBT and apply for variations and have that authorised to move forward with that. We've covered all of the preparation. So again, just making sure that you've been onto Australian Business Register, checked all your details out, you've got your quote, you've got your stat deck, and you're ready to apply. I strongly suggest you're going onto the website and Smarty Grants and registering your Smarty Grants account before you apply, just to get that out of the way. And whilst you're on there, you can also have a look at a sample application form so you know what you're going to be facing when it comes to the 4th of May. The form does not open prior to this time, so you're not able to start, working on this grant and then save it. You need to just be on there on the 4th of May and apply. I think if you've read the information and you've got your documentation ready, it should really only take you about half an hour to 40 minutes to complete this grant. So get some diary blocking done and making sure that you've got time allocated to do this. The assessment criteria is around applicants who show within the grant that they can enhance the business core skills, adopt best practice, positively engage and grow their gross profit, be likely to grow jobs and within the business, future growth, and demonstrate that they've obtained value for money. So those outcomes are assessed, and once you've actually gone through the process, it's been addressed, you are successful, you'll receive the funds, and then you're able to commence engaging work. So I'll touch base again on how to spend your money best once you've received the grant, but this information should help you get to that application stage. Okay, take care and good luck, and please reach out to Smart Precinct if you need any further information.